Hi, it's Beezy, and it's March 30th. Yes, 30th, 2022. It's day 17. And on my journey of transition and transformation. So 17 days of my notice window of 40 are complete. And today was an interesting day, some job stuff. I did spend quite a bit of time working on the business, got everything all set with the Soul Inspired Blueprint readings and process, so I can now, open it up to a wider group of beings who'd like to take advantage of that and come play with that. And just on that note, it's fascinating for me, between my own work that I've been doing that for years, and then going through the whole in-depth Oracle training to do that, using this specific model. And again, what appealed to me of that is that it's organic. So it is all based, it's soul based from you and your soul, and then the soul of the being who's come for the reading. And there's this wonderful circle and connectivity that happens. But with these energies expanding even more than they have, and with this really deep dive, lovely downloads and whole training process I've been on for the last 17 days, from my soul of the high heart, the Trinity I've been speaking of, the high heart, the soul, and the self coming in for creation and manifestation, and bringing things forward in that balanced way. So in that total balanced way of the etheric, the energetic, the vibrational, the spiritual, and the linear, the grounded, the physical, all that kind of stuff. What's coming to me is it's actionable spirituality. So it blends the two. It's a beautiful mesh of that. And because of that, it actually strengthens, empowers, and makes both far more magical than they ever were before. So in doing that, I just wanted to finish off with that piece. In finishing, so that making it more expansive on the website to be able to let people come in who choose to play with that and have a reading. The readings themselves have evolved even more. They've gotten more in depth. They've gotten more in depth in the sense of the connection that I have with my soul and the other being's soul, and how that all comes out, and what is then asked to be illuminated in the different creation codes of the client who's taking the reading, has really up-leveled a lot. It's really shifted and changed. It's become far more deep and illuminating. I'm not sure how else to describe that, but it's a light that I feel, that I see, that from myself playing with the other being, that's sitting in the chair, and the soul. It's leveling up. It's jumping an octave, a higher version of their soul inspired blueprint in real time up, and then they play with it and take it from there, how they want to play with it. So that's been fascinating to experience. I've been doing it with myself as well, because it's an ongoing, continual process. They're living, organic source, force energy within you, your ascension roadmap, and then your next higher octaves of you, all through the information and the design from source and your soul. But to watch that, to experience it in myself, to play with it with some, I've had over the last, not quite 17 days, a couple, let's see, four readings that I've done. And so it's very cool to see how they're different and how they're more expansive, and how the for me anyways, the internal conversations and the seeing and the illuminating, the ability to do that, has expanded. So I like that. So that's part of the business stuff I did today. And then I'm also working on um, putting together, figuring out some kind of technical logistical components for doing, because a lot of people seem to be interested in doing some groups where we can play with actually um, bringing superpowers online, telepathy and different things, where we can come together in a group, we can practice things that way. We can then have a supporting thing where it's like a little bit more sophisticated, but it's like a one big email where you just keep hitting reply to all and everybody's in the conversation about going out and doing field work that you choose, that you want to work on something, and so you're going to test something, or you're going to be sending information to people in the group, or however different doing it. So that's a way to, you go out and you do your own thing, you come and you do the collective thing, you share it, you have people to practice on who know what's going on. It's a way to get feedback. So that was a piece that started to, well, it just popped into my heart of how to start to facilitate that. So that's coming along. And then this thing I mentioned yesterday about the land healer colleagues, and putting that out. So that's the part I got done on the work. Had a lovely, really fun walk with the dogs today. There was a little bit of sun when we went, so that was very lovely. Made some more progress and come to some decisions on the camper top, and just in all the things that, information from external sources and nudges coming forward, it's going to be beneficial with the travel trailer to have the camper top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's trusting. It's, I have of the in the kinds of um, money, I'm going to use that kinds of money that I have the green backs is just a very small little, um, relative with no job and all those kinds of things. It's just a very small little pile. So I'll be taking a good, what, maybe half of that to get the camper top. But the benefits that it gives me, the biggest benefit that it gives me is it's a tool. Let's say it's a meditation tool to stay in that Trinity, to stay in the high heart, the soul, and the self, which is my creational power, which is my heart's desire, manifesting, materializing, and delivery tool. So it's the best bang for my buck. And I can sleep in the back of my truck, and I can use it as kind of, a garage sort of a thing for when I have my travel trailer, and I see them happening all at the same time. So that's a decision made. Um, and we'll see. I have some phone calls to make this morning, how that works out. And then what was the last thing I was going to share on that? Plus, I can also start to at least pack some of it. So that's something. And the other thing is, oh, I'm avoiding saying it. So, because it's a big one for me, that it's not something I'm not doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because, again, I think it's the same thing of releasing, of letting go of attachment, of allowing the flow, of truly trusting, of stepping onto that path. But I've been feeling the thought to have some conversations with two friends locally. Would they be willing to have Rose come live with them, and so that I have that opportunity? And is that enough release valve of any worry or any her not being happy or whatever permutations it is? By having that, it lets go of all of that stuck energy. It lets go of all of that grief. It lets go of all that, whatever the shit. It's just right. So by doing that, and I have the feeling that I will be, although it's incredibly hard to do. By doing that, will I release that energy block? Will I release that flow of trust and the heart's desire that she won't go anywhere and she'll be right with me, and it'll be in this, magical little home on wheels, and off we'll go, and all that vision. Um, so I'm trusting that. And I'll tell you, some of this trust stuff is harder than to do. Not because I don't want to, but we have so much stuff in this life, in this false construct, that is an anathema to the truth of who we are. That it could be not possibly be more light years away from the truth of who we are. This is one of them. And the only way out, the only way through, the only way to fully shine as the amazing beings that we are, and to share that and co-create and build something so stupendously beautiful and so much further than even we imagined in our non-physical, in our etheric, because we're doing it as a holding of ourselves in embodiment, source incarnate, here to play and create with Gaia and all of that. We cannot do it until we, let go of all this. And yes, as hard as it is, coming to the thought of that, the carrying through of that, for me right this moment with Rose, to ask, and because I have some time to play with that possibility, to have conversations with her, and that at least that lets that valve off, that lets any worry or all the other crap shit, limiting beliefs or stuff within me come out. Get the vacuum, keep vacuuming them up, sweeping them out, clearing them out, shining the light, getting the Trinity. Whatever comes, but in that process, doing it. And even just saying this doesn't make it easier, but it feels like I'm back more aligned with that Trinity, the heart, the soul, and self, because that's the only way I'm going to have my whole family with me, and that's my only way I'm going to have my heart's desire. It is the only way, because that's where I'm completely magical. That's where I am magnificent. That's where there's such beauty and such ease and grace and such fun and such cosmic deliciousness, which is what I choose, and Rose chooses, and Keegan and Xander, and we all choose. We label it, we language it differently, but is it excruciatingly difficult to do it? You bet. The headache is off the charts right this minute. But that is what I will find some two beings to at least have that conversation with, and see if they're amenable for Rose to stay a little, or to stay indefinitely, or I don't know. But I think it's the act of, I know it's the act of having that conversation, of being able to let go of everything, absolutely everything, to let go of attachment, perception, perspective, focus, has to this, and just let it go, just to fly from the heart. And in that space, it's like I'm taking my hands and bringing this amazing garden to life, or bringing this amazing heart's desire. And the heart's desire is huge. The vision is huge, not only for fun for me, but all that I wish to play and create and co-create with. And I've settled long enough and played small long enough. So that's my high spirited and completion to day 17, which has been a good day on all counts, although hard and very, very expansive, and going in the right direction. So I love you. See you tomorrow.